Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Car Tire Fishing. In this episode, I want to talk about just like what is car tire fishing? Like, dude, what are you talking about, bro? Okay, so basically if you've never seen a float tube before, and obviously you're seeing me on the screen right now in a float tube, and you're wondering what in the heck is going on. Uh, Basically, I'm in an inner tube like a car tire. Okay, you pump it up, and it's got like a canvas little item around it, and with pockets and a seat, and that's it. So your legs hang out the bottom. You're wearing flippers. There's no motor. There's no, nothing like that. Nothing electronic. If you want to carry a fish finder or something, you sure can, or mount a camera. But this is all manpower right here. This is green. Ooh, oh man. I hope I didn't trigger anybody. Anyway, I would like to just talk about how I got into float tube fishing. Like, I don't know, it was like 1990, so way back, before the internet, before any of that. I used to love fishing. I was growing up in Detroit area, lakes everywhere. But the problem was most of these lakes are surrounded by houses. It's all private property. They'll have like a little public access here and there, a lot of DNR access where you could just drive over, drop in. But there was a lot of spots where like maybe you could park your car down the road and you could walk down, and there was like a bridge or something, and so you could get some sort of access to the lake. And you could stand and cast. So what I used to do is just drive around in my truck and go from spot to spot to spot where I could just stand on the shore and cast some days. It was kind of like just being in a bass boat, moving from spot to spot, but instead I was driving around the neighborhood in my truck, going from lake to lake to lake. Anywhere I knew there was a spot where I could stand and cast, where maybe I could catch a fish. I was doing that for a long time. And sometimes you pull up on these spots and there's already somebody there because these spots are just limited, and fishermen know about all these spots. And so one day I was at the fishing store, and hanging up on the wall was a float tube, and I knew right away, it just clicked. I was like, I need one of those, because all I have to do now is go to those spots where I could stand and shore fish, and now I could just throw my tube in, throw my flippers, and now have access to the entire area, right? I don't need a boat. And in a lot of these areas, you can't even get a boat in, right? Some of these private lakes, the lake ain't private, but the land around it's private. But if you can get onto the lake, nobody can kick you off. Now, that's not everywhere, so make sure you know what you're talking about. But like, let's look right here at this map. Okay, this is actually in a state park area, and you see where you can walk down the trail and you can get right there, and that's where you could cast. You'd be limited. That's all you could fish. So you could walk down there, you can make some casts, and then you got to leave. Then you can walk all the way around over here, and here's another spot, right? And so you can cast to this area, okay? And that's it. You're limited. That's all you can do. But if you got a float tube, now look what you can do. You drop into either of those spots. You could fish this back area back here with all these lily pads, or you could come out here and fish this deeper water in the middle. This isn't super deep, but it's deep enough. You can see the weed lines, or you could fish these little island area, those drop offs. You could move on out to this deeper water if it's more summer and these fish are out deeper. Right here was another spot. There was this bar I used to go to right on the corner. If you recognize this spot, like I can't speak on that bar. This was 30 years ago. I used to go there, so they let me drop in there. And then look what it gave me access to. Look at these areas of this lake that are just absolutely prime. Like, what a day. You drop in here, cruise under that bridge, and just come back here in this back area, in this cove, fish these docks, fish these lily pads, fish these like walls. Now, make sure you know where you're at. Make sure you know if it's legal. But like, what a day, just sitting back there chilling in an area like that. Or if the fish aren't up tucked in those canals, you head on out to the main lake. And look, you fish those drop offs out in that deeper water, that whole shoreline, that point. Like, this is prime area. And you can get so much easy access to like awesome spots in a float tube. You don't need a huge boat, I can assure you. You'll find a million spots on these lakes around you. And you'll be right near shore, right? You don't have to get crazy with it. All you need is Google Earth, and you can find fantastic fishing locations that you can get to with a float tube and you can slay. I do want to say right now, I am in the Colorado River fishing for striped bass. I'm hoping to catch a 20-pound striper. Just to give you a heads up, maybe I catch one in this video, maybe I don't. But that is what I'm doing. And I just want to talk more about, you know, the amazing access having a float tube gives you, right? Like I'm down here fishing, and there's a decent amount of shoreline down here, but this place gets crowded. Like this is not a super secret place. This is Willow Beach in Nevada, like an hour outside of Las Vegas. It's a famous place for these big striper, and often the areas down here on the shoreline, there's people down there. And so, you know, if you want to come down and fish shoulder to shoulder with people, you can. I don't prefer it. So when I get down here, I just find myself a little area where I can launch, and then I just shimmy on up the shoreline to where no one can stand. So I'm not in anybody's way, and I have just a nice, chill, relaxed, private fishing experience. And it's amazing. It just really is. Like, I'll be perfectly honest with you, right? Like, I'm just enjoying my day whether I catch anything or not. The nature out here is beautiful. The birds, the bighorn sheep come walking down these steep ledges and drink out of this river all the time. I have a video of that. I'll show it to you some other time. But it's just quiet, it's peaceful. When the sun's setting and you get in the shadows on the mountains in the back, man, it's just really relaxing, really calming. The float tube is so comfortable. It's like sitting in a lazy boy. If you get the right equipment, you move around pretty effortlessly. It just really is easy. It keeps you in shape. You know, you're not using motors. You're not using electricity. You're using manpower, right? You're getting it done. Definitely want to be safe. Always wear your life jacket. Like I said, I don't work for any of these companies. I don't sell these things. I'm not the authority expert on this. I just know what I've done over the years. I'm going to give people some tips and some little wisdom about float tubing. But the beauty of the float tube is that you can get access to some of the best fishing spots in the world. And you don't need to spend $100,000 to do it. So take a look. I mean, I would bet in most big cities, if you go on some sort of social media marketplace, you can find one used for cheap. I have done it. Done it a couple times. You know, it is what it is. This tube that I'm in right now, actually, I believe is the best one that I have ever purchased. I've had like two of them, and it's 2026. I think they're running just over $300 right now. If you're watching this in 2028, they'll probably be $4,000 based on inflation. But that's a whole nother thing. Anyway, if you're interested in float tube fishing, man, hit like, hit subscribe. Hopefully this was kind of informative on just what the heck float tube fishing is and why I think it's fantastic, right? It's a small little tire. It deflates. If you need to inflate it and deflate it every time you go fishing to throw it in the back of your car, you can. If you got a pickup truck, it just goes right in the back. You know, it's easy in, easy out. You can do quick little 1 hour fishing trips without having to go to the launch, unhook your boat, put your boat in, get your boat inspected, pull your boat out, clean your boat. Like, you know, if you have a boat, man, you're talking, you need a few hours just to dedicate to getting the boat from the lake, cleaning the boat, all that. Not this, man. I pull up, throw it out of the back of my truck. I'm in the water in minutes. I'm gone. I'm fishing. Even if I only have an hour in the evening, you know, just before sundown. Come down here, float around for an hour, relax, decompress, maybe catch dinner, you know, maybe get some highlight reel for you guys to watch. Maybe catch a world record. Who knows? But if I didn't have my float tube and I was fishing on shore, I could be very limited. Yeah, I just wouldn't be as happy. It's nice. So think about it. Let me know in the comments what you think, if you've ever tried one, whether you liked it or not. So we're just going to end this video right here. Thanks for tuning in. Unfortunately, I didn't catch a monster, but like I said, I'm not always going to catch fish. But what I'm never going to do on the Tired Fishing Show is do a video where at least I'm not fishing. I'm always fishing, baby.